Dutch reprinted version of Endgame has been released, reportedly including hundreds of changes and the removal of the names at the centre of the royal race route.
Well, the changes come as author Omid Scobie finally confesses that he did reveal the names of the royals who allegedly raised concerns of Prince Archie's skin colour in an early draft version of the book to Dutch publishers. Well, joining us now is host of the To Die For Daily podcast, Kinsey Schofield. Good morning, Kinsey. Do you think...
Good morning.
Good morning. Do you think we're going to see an apology from either side, either the Scobie or from the publishers?
I don't, but what surprises me is we haven't seen his American publishers or his American agents or his UK publishers or UK agents. He says he only worked with American and UK directly, but we haven't seen any of those publishers or agents come out to try to defend him or to explain it either. It's like he's alone on an island, and the Dutch publishers actually said that his explanation, they felt like it was factually incorrect, and they did not recognize themselves in his representation of events. So the Dutch publishers not only not standing by him, but completely pushing against his version.
Kins, welcome to the show. Lovely to have you. I just sit here with a smile on my face. He's been proven to be a liar. I said it a week ago. He's blamed... There were two ladies who saw the manuscript from a Dutch publisher. They say it was in. The Dutch publisher's not defending him. The British publisher, his agent. Has this guy not been found out? With the greatest of respect. And I think, by the way, it's quite brilliant that the British public again prove who they are. He's not even in the top 200 of Amazon sales now, is he?
Well, I think that we need to be fair. This quite simply could be a case of unconscious bias, and we might be giving him too much of a hard time. So okay. I'll be nice on this one. But no, of course. I don't know what the ultimate objective was, but it's not a good look for him, and I think it hurts his credibility.
Have you got a Christmas hat on the O of Hollywood behind your head? What is that?
Yeah, that is exactly what that is. I'm trying to stay on Santa's nice list. I don't think Omid is, though. I think he might be on the naughty list this year.
Very interesting, but it will rumble on. And to be fair, whatever side you're on, whatever you think about the truth, the sales of that book have been an absolute disaster, haven't they?
9,000 in the United States, 6,000 in the UK.
Is that true?
How many in the US?
9,000.
9,000.
Wow.
I could write a book about cutting my toenails and sell more.
Don't think you could. We'll move on now, Kinsey, to the Martin Bashir emails. Can you give us a little bit of background for anybody who isn't familiar with the latest in that story?
Right. Well, BBC has been instructed to hand over 3,000 emails that are regarding, they want to expose whether or not there was not just a cover-up at the time, but a judge wants them to be honest about if there has been a cover-up, within the last decade. This is one of the most, I'd say, one of the most shocking moments in royal history, aside from the death of Diana, aside from Harry and Meghan leaving. It was the sit-down interview with Princess Diana. Martin Bashir doctored some documents and presented them not only to Diana, but her brother, who is now Earl Spencer. And it has been Earl Spencer who's come out swinging over the last few years, especially on the 25th anniversary of her death, saying BBC should take accountability and should be more forthcoming with how much they knew when it came to how Martin Bashir secured this interview, which really was such a deviant way. We've heard Prince William speak out against it and say he never, ever wants this interview ever heard again. So just recently, over the last 48 hours, Earl Spencer spoke to an outlet and said he felt like there was a cover-up of the initial cover-up. And he said he has actually seen some documents that he shouldn't have, that to him convince him that some of the higher-ups are just trying to cover up their own butts.
Very interesting. And I know we talk a lot about going back. Do you think Bashir, briefly, do you think anything will happen to him? Do you think this won't go away? Do you think the public want answers, or do you think this will be allowed to disappear, as perhaps senior royals would prefer?
I mean, I'd love for BBC to put all of their energy into distancing themselves from Martin Bashir, but it seems like they're going to protect him until the end.
I think they probably have to.
One lighter topic to talk about, Kinsey, before...
Light's interesting, judging by the colour of the picture.
Sorry?
You're going to talk about the Christmas cards. We were saying it was dark earlier and you said light.
I'm not... Yes, well, the Christmas card, Kinsey. This year, we've got the King and Queen there in all their regalia, in stark contrast to the Prince and Princess of Wales, who've opted for a more casual look. But it also, to me, just seems like quite an outdated
image. Are we
image.
putting that one up or what?
It?
Can we put up the Prince and Princess of Wales' Christmas card? Hello?
Well, which one do you think is outdated? Because I've heard outdated used to define both of them. So, I see people making...
Yeah, to be fair, crowns and sceptres, etc., can be quite outdated too. But here, this is obviously an attempt at a kind of more modern portrait of a family. But even then, it looks quite 80s. It's giving Kardashian 2007 vibes.
I think that they were trying to say, look, we're just like you, and our babies are our number one priority. And would I have loved to have seen them cuddled up, in a snowy mountain or something like they've done in the past? Yes, but I do understand, especially compared to the King and Camilla's. I understand what they were trying to do here, and I think it works.
Kins, you're a legend as ever. It's a very quick one this morning, but thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Charlotte looked amazing. Do you know what? Charlotte was giving.
They all look amazing. It's just that big background. I think, actually, very quickly,
a school photo.
She takes a lot of pictures, doesn't she, the Princess of Wales, but she couldn't take one of her own family. It was a bit more natural. But anyway, listen, it's a Christmas card. I'm not sending any, so happy Christmas.
Thank you so much, Kinsey, for joining us.